There we are.
Oh,
And now the microphone is unmuted.
well, that's
Okay.
Isn't this fun?
Yes.
So let's
Hello,
start.
everyone.
Hello. Do you want to introduce yourself,
Yes.
Mr. Thomas?
Now we'll give it a couple secs for everyone to get. There's a bit of an echo in the background. Your PC was turned on. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello. Give it a couple more seconds for everyone's stream to kick in.
What a splendid evening.
Yes,
Is it going? Yeah.
it is. Okay, do you think that's long enough?
Yeah.
That's probably long enough.
let's
All right.
try it.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the Arma 3 pre-E3 live stream hangout.
The inaugural live stream.
The inaugural, one of two, yes. And as you can see, I'm joined by a number of lovely people, and I guess we'll just go around and introduce each of you.
Yep.
So, to my right is,
Creative Director J. Crow.
yeah,
Nice to see you guys.
and
Project lead Joris. Nice to be here. And brand manager Cornel.
Karel Novitsky, the guy who breaks all the things.
They're Ricky.
yeah, and I am Thomas Ryan, mission designer and your host for now. So, I guess
You didn't introduce the mascot.
really we're gonna introduce that guy.
It's the mascot.
Well, then put him in the damn camera.
We got our mascot as well. It's a raccoon. Introduce
So,
it.
okay,
It
it's
is
What's his name?
junior designer.
junior designer
He's,
pooper.
Making Arma 3 splendid since 2011.
Okay, so let's
do
get
this.
started.
Let's get started.
So as you guys might already know, well hopefully you do if you read the invitations, today's live stream will be focusing specifically on the editor, making missions in the editor. So let's just zoom out here. Alright, so this is the Arma 3 mission editor. Now the cool thing about this is that it's actually pretty much a dev tool. It's the exact same tool we use to make our own missions. And today I'll just be guiding you through basically getting your foot in the door with mission editing. So to start off, I guess we'll just run through the basic functionality of the mission editor. You can see here we have two different bars on the top and on the left side. Now the thing about that is you can actually change the layout if you choose. There's a button right here that lets you choose it. You have the streamlined and the traditional variant, but for the sake of this, we're going to stick to the streamlined one.
And you would not believe how many arguments there have been about
It is
what
quite
the best
impressive.
layout should be.
It is quite impressive how...
We should rename basically this traditional, which is what the original programmers of the game made, and that's all they can use. And then the streamlined, which is what Karel Murky put in, which everyone hates him for. But I kind of like it.
But we kind of like it, yeah.
Yeah.
It has
It's
a nice
also called
feel to it.
streamlined, which is a really scary word for all PC gamers.
For older, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so sticking with the streamlined preset.
Yeah.
First section we'll talk about is the top left, the very first one right here. These are all your basic typical editor of any kind functions. So you have clear, load, save as, and merge. The only one really that we should talk a bit more about is merge. What's interesting about this is it actually lets you build a mission in parts. And say if you have like a really large mission or a more complicated mission, rather than you having to like build the start and then go all the way through the mission to a certain point and test the next part, you could build the mission in sections and then merge them very easily using this. It's quite a handy function.
But we're not going to do that today.
But we don't do that today because
What are we
we're going to
gonna do
keep it
today?
very basic.
And
Yes.
How basic are we going? What are we making for the guys?
Well, today we're, for lack of a better idea, going to be doing a variation of Steal the Car from the classic mission from Operation Flashpoint. Some of you might remember if you've been around long enough.
So this is Cornel's favorite mission, basically the only one he can play well.
That's Cornel, by the way.
That's Cornel.
Yeah.
So we're going to put this together using a few of the new assets that will be in the beta.
Yes.
So you get a sneak preview of that.
Yeah.
Maybe give you guys some options as to which units that we use, which weapons you'd like to see, and use Steal the Car as like a basis for showing these things off, and also letting people get familiar with the editor tool One thing we thought about was the guys that have the light version of the game. They still have the editor, but maybe they're not very familiar with the tool, how to use it. So hopefully this gives you an idea of the potential it's got, how easy it is to put something together. And I can't think of anyone better to show us than Thomas.
This
Zipper
guy.
5, right?
Zipper 5. There's
Zipper
the
5.
first.
Zipper 5. If you're playing a drinking game at home, you have
Keep
to,
track.
you have
Keep
to
track
take
of
a
how
drink
many
on Zipper
times.
5.
Yeah.
Zipper 5.
Okay. Well, thank you, sir.
That was an overview.
Yes, that was a very, very decent overview. Thank you.
Decent.
Yes.
Thank you. Good.
Okay, so back to the matter at hand here. The more editor-specific things that we have now to explain. Intelbox, if you've used, if you've edited in any of the previous Armas or Operation Flashpoint for that matter, this might be a familiar display to you. But for Arma 3, we have expanded it. You can see here that there's a lot more control over the weather settings. But you still have the really basic stuff, which we'll go through one by one. Name, obviously, just the mission name. This will be how it'll be displayed in the lists and such if you were to share it with your friends. We'll cover some interesting stuff about that later. Description, that's much more specific to multiplayer. It's what people will basically get when they select the mission in the mission selection screen. People typically just include a very short summary of the mission here. They might include how many players, what kind of a game it is, that kind of stuff.
Maybe we can show the guys one of the new things and show them like different times a day. How quick it is to do that.
Sure, if we want.
Also see the frame rate in games.
Well, yes, that as well. So you can see we've expanded it to include control over rain, lightning, waves, wind, and wind is divided into three different sections: strength, gusts, and direction. So for now, I guess gusts. I'm not actually entirely sure.
Sounds like a programmer said.
But I'd imagine it increases the probability of a strong gust of wind during the mission. And you can see typically they're set by default to automatic, but we can take them off at any point and give like a huge amount of lightning or no lightning at all. But we'll leave it on default for now. And finally, you can set the time it takes for any of these changes to take effect. So
let's set my favorite time of day.
Yeah, this guy has a bit of a thing for
I like the romantic
sunsets.
No, I like the sunrise.
Sunrise or sunset? Sunrise. Okay.
I'll leave that to you.
Yeah. So let's go 5. Let's say 5:30, and turn on the overcast.
Yeah. Zipper 5:30.
Zipper 5:30. Okay.
Maybe we can go down to J Cove, put like a helicopter there.
J Cove. Ah, but it's Stragos Bay. Oh no, J Cove is still there. Never mind.
You haven't been designing.
I have not been to J Cove.
How big is
too
this
long.
island, and you don't know the name of the
That is disappointing.
This is why.
Okay, so let's
put one of the green
guys.
in.
Sure.
So part of the beta, we're introducing a third playable faction. They're called Green for the moment. They have it's not exactly the full set, but it'll be definitely for the beta comparable with what we've so far got for Blue and Red. Yeah,
those of you who were here at the start of the stream, the sniper and the helicopter are part of the new Green faction. And here's the basic rifleman of that. So have we got the right time of day? I think we do. Maybe we need a bit more clouds. But one really nice new thing that we've added in the beta, which we can show right now, is new 3D scopes. So you can see this is the...
Oh my god, Shocker Meal!
So yes, second new, I should say, including the Green Army feature that is new to the beta, are our 3D scopes. So right now we have the zoomed out variant, and if we just swap quickly, there's the actual proper 3D scope. Which is quite nice.
Wow, it's like my game doesn't look like it was from 2001.
Well, that's true.
So these 3D scopes are used on what we call the combat optics. So the default scope for Blue 4 and Op 4, they have something similar to this. It's handled a little bit differently, and we can show you that. a bit later when we
Yeah, those
put
of
the
you-
hammer sight down.
Yeah.
And
The hammer sight and the ARCO, I
Yeah.
think they are.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, those of you who've been playing the public alpha will notice very quickly when you launch the public beta that the default scopes for Blue 4 and Op 4 have also been changed
Yeah.
to 3D variants. Much nicer feel in the game.
Yeah,
Okay.
Definitely a little thing, but
A little thing that makes a big difference.
It makes it a big
Yeah.
difference. You feel they're slightly less zoomed in than they used to be, which makes it combat can be a little more difficult because you're not right up in
For
their
sure.
faces.
Yeah.
But just being able to sort of feel the world move around you, it makes it a lot more natural.
Definitely.
It changes the complexion of some missions. It's not some exciting new technology that no one's ever seen before, but for us, it's quite nice to have it in game.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice addition.
It's been a long time coming for a lot of people, so it's nice to see it there.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess get started on the actual mission building.
Do it!
So first thing first is to choose where your mission is going to take place. Now, as I said earlier, we're going to do a variation on Steal the Car from Operation Flashpoint. And for the sake of it, I've chosen Agia Marina, the capital of the island of Stratus. What you want to do when you start is find the best actual starting location for your player that makes sense, looks nice, and you can work with, obviously. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the player on the Blue Force side stealing a car from the new green faction. So let's plop ourselves down and preview. So we're just going to walk around and see if we can find a good starting location for us for this mission. So here's Agia Marina.
So that'll be the homicide for the
Yeah,
for Blue 4.
we can actually show that. This is the new 3D variant of the hammer. You can see it's much nicer than what was in the public alpha, if I do say so myself.
If he does, and he does.
Yes.
He does.
But I think this is actually like a decent enough starting location. Maybe further back. Maybe even facing the sun. But yeah, let's see what we can find. This is a nice area. I like the trees and all that kind of stuff around here. So let's say you start here. Very easy way to find this once you go back to the editor is just open your map, pressing M, and you can see we're right here. You can even read off the grid coordinates if you need to.
How are we doing on the stream, Cornel? Have we got any questions?
We have some questions, but we also have Joris Jan on the chat. He will be answering some of the questions.
The Joris Jan is all up in there.
Joris Jan is the
He's on the
project
case.
lead.
Yeah.
on Arma 3.
Joris Jan is the project lead indeed.
He's our dear leader and savior.
Okay, so we know where this nice starting location is, so let's back out again. Bring us over here. That looks about right. If you hold shift, by the way, as you drag the unit around while selected, you can actually change his azimuth without having to go right into the create unit window. That's quite a handy little piece of information most don't seem to know. But let's set him that way because that was where the sun was facing. Cool. Alright, so we found the good starting location for the mission. Now let's find where we want our car to be. So once more, it looks, well, you obviously don't want to have the player start right next to the car, so we'll need to have them actually have to go straight into the town.
What car will we use?
Well, what do you want to use? What do they want to use?
We could ask them.
Well, we have new stuff which we can show.
Well, the green guys, they have, well, we've seen some screenshots of it before, but the Strider. So that's the green guys, basically their equivalent of the MRAP. We also have some logistics vehicles for blue and red. So we have this huge hemp truck. So let's throw a bunch down and see which one you want to use. So we'll put maybe the three together, and then we can pick one of them.
One little handy tip is that if you don't want to mess with your player unit so much, you can of course at any time place down another unit and set him as player, so you can keep him there. Obviously, if he's on the same side, he might end up grouped. So what you do to ungroup him is you go here to your left side of the panel, select the groups button, and just click and drag. and now he's out of your group. But yeah, we just want to preserve the nice starting location, so we'll set ourselves as a different unit for the preview.
So let's throw down,
let's throw down
3 empty vehicles.
Yeah. So it is the Strider.
So the Strider is something like the equivalent of the Ifrit, and the point that the config guys want me to say is that they're not necessarily directly equivalent. Some are a little bit faster, some are a bit more maneuverable, but they're basically the equivalent and balanced. So maybe you put down the Hemp as well.
Yeah.
So this is the Blue 4 transport truck. So you can put like a whole bunch of guys in the back of here, transport across the big distances that are in Arma. And then Up 4 also have the Kamaz truck, but I think maybe just these will
Just these two?
now,
Sure.
They're the newer ones.
So let's click preview. Now I don't know how this will look. The Hemp might actually be sticking through the building, but we'll find out. Oh no, it looks fine. Kind of. Yeah, it looks fine. So yeah, here we have the green Strider. It's nice digital camouflage. Ooh, that was good timing with the sunset.
Nice.
Sunrise. So yeah, green
Sunrise.
Strider is here. So that's option 1. And the Hemp truck is right here. Which is
He's a bit
option
of a
2.
beast. Do we have the sound
He's a bit massive.
configured for this yet?
We do actually.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Well, in that case,
In that
my
case, we
vote is-
might just
my
have to go
vote
for
is
the
this,
Hemp.
but if the guys want,
Well, what does everyone else think, Mr. Cornell?
maybe jump into it.
Yeah,
Because I haven't
jump
heard
into
too
it,
many
drive
sounds.
around.
The
I
guys
got
are-
in as co-driver, so let's
Congratulations.
go in as driver.
Some nice videos.
Yes.
So, part of the beta will be expanding like the logistics of all the different sides. What that means is these transport trucks, transport helicopters, basically helping you navigate the big distances. It's not such an issue on Stratus, which is why we didn't sort of prioritize these coming out earlier. But when we
Oh, I've lost control. Oh my god.
when we get to Altus
This is
later
a
in
terrible
the
idea.
this is definitely you need to get around with a whole bunch of guys. The ARVs only have space for 3 or 4, so this
This allows you to carry around a lot more guys.
yeah, we'll look at the transport helicopters later because they're pretty cool as well.
But let's drive back.
So I have made an executive decision
That is going to be the Hemp
We're going to be
truck?
stealing the Hemp because it's also a bitch to drive around, so that will be
Well,
fun
then-
to escape in.
Yeah, so I guess it's a good thing that we're actually in it right now, because what we can do now without quitting out is we can find a good spot that we want to stash it.
Let's do it.
So that could be an option, but can he even fit? Nah, he's too big for that. That's a shame. Drive across a nice little bridge.
So I guess we'll want to put it somewhere like, well, you tell me. When you're designing the mission, what do you think about like how the AI can use the terrain and
Yeah, big things to
player
keep in
accessible and
mind
such?
are perhaps the biggest to keep in mind is how well the AI can move about in your mission.
Well, this looks nice.
Yeah, this actually seems to be a pretty good spot.
We're beside the sea, so if you wanted to go underwater, you can maybe.
And there's enough parking space for the big truck.
Do you drive yourself?
How do you mean?
Do you have a driving license?
I don't have a driver's
Well, you're
license.
not.
I am sorry.
So
I am now driving illegally in the game. That is not right.
This guy.
Okay, so this looks like a good spot for the Hemp. It's right here. Next to the sea. So let's quit out and move him over there. Get rid of the Strider. And here we go. So yeah, as we were saying, it's a big deal that the AI can access the areas that you are using in your missions. But of course, it's also a big deal that the player can as well. So what we should do now is just make sure that the player can actually go around and get into the truck.
That'd be nice.
Because if you can't do that, and we should make sure that the truck itself is not hitting into anything or clipping. Oops. Yeah, it looks fun. Can I get? I should be able to get into that.
Maybe I should have said before the where we're getting the beers from.
Ah, the beer. Yes. Well, funnily enough, we actually had.
This is not a word from our sponsors, by the way.
Yes, this is not a
Maybe
sponsored
I should have
shot.
mentioned where
Yeah.
we got our free consignment of beer. Well, the
Exactly.
good people. So who gave us these?
Well, recently we received a nice little care package from the Comrades in Arms community. And it came with a whole bunch of beer and some nice notes and such. So big thanks for that.
We'll be drinking these beers throughout this live stream.
So yes, shout out to Comrades in Arms. But yeah, so we have the nice spot for our truck now, and we have the nice starting location. So now comes perhaps the tougher part of the mission building, which is basically placing the enemy throughout the town. So as we said earlier, it's a big issue that the AI can move about. So as you're placing guys, be sure that you don't place them like right inside an object that they can't move out of, all that kind of stuff, because you can, and it's part of the freedom of Arma that you could, because for whatever reason somebody might decide they want to place them on a building that can't be exited and stuff like that. But for the sake of this, we'll keep it simple and keep everybody on the ground moving about as freely as they possibly can. Big issue as well is making it so that it's believable but perhaps not too difficult. So you have to really keep an eye on the number of enemies you place around. So for now, one nifty thing about the guys being on the independent side is you might have seen earlier when we were looking at the intel box that you can set the affiliation of the independent side. So for the sake of building the mission, for placing these enemies, I should say, it might be better to just leave them affiliated to Blue 4, because then I won't be shot at
So who
as
are
I'm
we going to play
moving.
as? Are we going to be up 4 or Blue 4?
We're going to stick to Blue 4 as the player, but he's going to be stealing the truck from the green guys.
Do we have any new stuff we could show from Blue 4? Well, I guess you guys have seen the sniper package which came out recently.
There was, yeah.
There's that.
But we also, can we show the Comanche? I guess we can show the
Comanche.
Comanche. Thumbs up from the project lead, so we can show the Comanche.
That's up to Carol.
Show Comanche.
Yeah, Carol really wants. There he is. So let's.
I don't know, because we have that pretty sexy looking new machine gun file for, don't we?
We do as well. But we've already hinted at the Comanche, so it would be quite a bad move to go and take that away from you guys.
I prefer a machine gun to a Comanche.
Let's do both. Both.
I got it.
Why have one? Yes. Okay. So let's start with the Comanche, because the popular demand is Comanche. So here we go.
They all be wanting the Comanche.
Yes.
Oh my god, what was that below the Comanche that you could have selected?
Don't dare to destroy the Comanche.
Yeah. Oh, should we destroy the
Set
Comanche
down
now?
if you
Yeah.
Does it have a wreck model?
It does. I think it does. We would find out very quickly if it doesn't. Oh. Bit of a pop-up error. Keep in mind, this is also still
I was trying to move
an
the
in development.
I was going to steal the truck from the Comanche.
That's true.
Blow up.
But we can at least show it as the mentality.
What, do you think these people that see the really stream this is interesting?
That is a good question. Yeah.
I think so.
But yeah, so here's the Comanche, which will be part of the public beta. Show off the firepower.
So this is the firepower. Part of the firepower and resistance. That's going to be great. So we have this, and we have the equipment for both the helicopters from the northern arms, the countries from the forums about the actors.
But we really like it.
You guys are right. But leaving that to the side, for the game itself, it's really cool and they have the art.
Okay, so let's get it firing. You can see also that the gun pods come out when you swap. But yeah, so that's enough of the Comanche for now.
Oh. So
Volume down a little bit?
Yeah,
Okay.
you just blew my head over.
Yeah.
So I didn't hear that. You love it.
Yes.
No, but Bohemia sounds aren't loud enough, are they? So I'm sure a model fixes sound.
Yes. So next, let's show the machine gun. This is the Op-4 auto rifleman. Only problem here is that our player, he's facing the other way, so he won't shoot at us. He will.
This mission isn't progressive very fast.
Yeah, it's not really.
This is
No.
probably my. I'm sorry. If you want to see the mission, it's coming soon.
See what I have to live with?
But you're being directed creative.
I am being creatively directed.
So this is what I do basically. Not much.
No, not much. So yeah, here's the new machine gun for the Op-4 side. It's called the Sapphire.
How are you pronouncing that?
Sapphire? How is it
Sapphire.
pronounced? Sapphire.
It's not a bloody gem, is it?
Sapphire?
Sapphire.
Okay. Well, machine gun. And yeah, really nice. And let's give it a couple shots. And it has semi and full auto. So yeah, really nice new
Yeah.
machine gun for the alpha side.
Yeah, we still got a bit more polishing to do to it.
Yeah, still work in progress.
Yeah.
But still,
We wanted to have like each of the sides having a different machine gun option, and
so from the side.
yeah. When you have some limited resources, limited time to decide what you want to do, we thought, you know, starting with infantry and making their basic selection of weapons, the machine gun, the assault rifle, the sniper rifles that we just added,
Definitely.
making each side have something interesting, distinctive of its own. That was one of our priorities.
Yeah, the core